Hello. Hi. Realm,
Hello.
would you mind speaking just for a little bit so I can actually equalize you in my stream?
That is absolutely fine. I am talking. I am very, very excited for FocusSight's Mega Man X7 run, which he is about to do right now as soon as he finishes balancing me on his stream.
I
I am
think
filling
that's good.
time like a
Thank you.
champion.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Appreciate good time, Phil. Hello, everyone. My name is FocusSight, or just Focus. I was your host just a little bit ago in the laughter cannon that was 8-Bits run, but that was a really good X6 run. We're doing X7 next, which is a run you can play. We currently use the X Legacy Collection version, hence this. It's like the only game in the X series to actually be improved by the X Legacy Collection version. So we're also running on Japanese because of a few reasons. I'll get into that as we get through the run. But yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go, so could you count me down?
Yeah, sure thing. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so, X7, what's the point of it? Considering the series was supposed to end at X5. Good question, you ask. I don't really have a good, sophisticated answer, but essentially what's happening in the plot is, there's this boy here named Axel. He used to be on a part of a, like a rogue, sort of like, mafia-esque, like, a system called Red Alert, and he's, like, leaving them because he's upset about what they've been doing, like, sort of unsavory acts of money transfer and corruption. And so he's like, I'm leaving these people. I don't care. Lo and behold, he doesn't know that he's actually apparently like a super high-tech robot that can copy other Reploids. And specifically only ones that are about the same size as him and other people. And then essentially here we're gonna have nostalgia for no reason, and then Zero is gonna come through. And in fact, despite this being a Mega Man X game, you're only gonna play as either Zero or Axel throughout the any % new game run, which is quite fun. This is a little bit of RNG here, as we just try to go through the first bit. But the main, one of the main playstyles, or one of the main differences between X7 and previous entries, is that in X7, you have an automated lock-on system. This was removed in X8. This applies in both 2D areas and 3D areas, so you swap between with using a button. I use L on a Switch Pro controller. And you essentially can really easily aim for enemies. There's a lot less strategy in that regard, but New Game actually has a lot more strategy than New Game Plus, because New Game requires us to actually route for chips via Reploids that we pick up, and also New Game requires us to be a bit more cautious of damage, because we aren't like complete tanks like in the New Game Plus run. So yeah, by the way, that was like the best intro movement I've done for that section. I'm really happy with it. Now we have Zero, and Zero is a bit interesting compared to the PSX entries. There is no dash/slash canceling, but there kind of is. The main thing we actually do here, and this is the only place where we really use it, is crouch/slash canceling. I'm gonna hit down and X rhythmically, because we get multiple hits on this boss. And there we go. Very familiar if you played X1. I forget the name of them, honestly. I'm such a Mega Man X fan. But yeah, right here we're going to do some slash. We're going to do some dashing on the slashing. Words are hard. On the ground, because basically what I'm trying to do is get just a good pattern to kill as many of these as quickly as possible. It seems to vary, but I don't know where the variance is actually, like, caused by. But once we're done with all these, we have another one of these. Do the same pattern again. Neat. Also, you might notice that sometimes as Zero I slash dash in the air. This is to basically preserve my dash speed for a little bit longer. It's not always useful, especially if you're in a very lag-filled area. It actually will slow you down. And this is the only instance of dash/slash canceling, technically. Not bad. And as we go through here, I'm going to do some jump. There are many verbs I could choose from. Slash jumps, slash dash jumps, I guess that's the term I'm going to use. I'm just going to go up here. There's another thing about X7 that's a bit different than other X games. There are these automated locking cutscenes. I specifically wanted to make sure I didn't enter it too early, otherwise I would have had Zero walking, so I just dash jumped immediately and got to save like a second. We're also playing on Japanese. The main reason why are these cutscenes, I should mention. These unskippable text cutscenes. It's all dependent upon the speed of the text that comes up, how quickly it ends. Nice. This is an auto-scroller, so it doesn't really matter if we get hit here. I'm gonna regret that, but we'll see. But yeah, essentially at this point, Zero's found Axel, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing? Oh, you're causing destruction. Stop being a bad robot." And then Axel's just like, "Cool, I'll get arrested, I guess, after I help you here." We don't actually help. Axel doesn't help in this boss at all. And essentially at that point in time, Axel tries to prove himself capable of being a Maverick Hunter, and so decides to fight his former clan members, who basically they set up 8 different Mavericks in like a bid to get Axel. Like, who's gonna finally get Axel? Like, Axel's a slice of cake. And that's all because it's a slice of technological cake, obviously. And that's basically the plot of X7. That's all that matters. Yeah, this boss here, though, the first mini-boss, we want to hit his head, and nothing else. Because if we hit any other part, it's just going to slow the boss down. We're going to hit the head again, take a hit, and then hit the head one more time. There we go. Bit slow, but that's actually really good for me. Overall, that was a really good intro stage. I don't have splits up, but if I did, that could have easily golded, I think. Gonna skip here. And then I'm gonna reload in. The annoying thing is about the stage select here is the fact that the stage select actually it automates to no. Which is really weird. Like, it automates to no instead. So you have to make sure you hit up, otherwise there's a big concern there. Also, am I dropping frames? Bit worried looking at the stream. I can't really quickly check. Oh, thank you. It's seemingly fine on my end. Whoop. I can't actually exit the game well as either, so, because if I exit the game, I'm gonna pause like that. That's okay, though. It's not too big a time loss. Yeah, effectively at this point, we have all this text, which would have been a good time to actually talk about donations, but I completely forgot. This is just explaining what each of the areas are that they've taken over and where you want to meet them, and then Alia loves to explain what things are in this game more than every other game I've ever seen. Like, she just loves to explain that, yes, you can select a character. Select 2 of 2 characters, everyone. I wonder who I'm going to choose. But yeah, at this point, we're going to start with Vanishing Gungaroo. Vanishing Gungaroo is not typically the first boss you'd fight in New Game Plus, but in New Game it's really important to fight because we want to make sure that we get something known as Explosion for Axel. So, one of the unique things about X7 is that it's the first main Series X game to allow you to swap between characters instantaneously in the stage. Extreme 2 has it, but that's not a main series game. And so there's some interesting strategy between which characters you want to use. Yeah, we need to get certain Reploids in this routing. We want to get certain Reploids that have CD parts and certain ones that have health and weapon upgrades. Essentially, there are defined little like helpers around the entire stage, which you can pick up for health and also for experience stuff. At that point in time, effectively, you can save a little bit more by you can like save certain Reploids for certain purposes. Like, for instance, here, I want to switch to Axel because whatever person we collect the Reploid as is the person who will get the upgrade. So, for instance, here, Al, best Japanese name I've ever met, Al over here has a weapon tank upgrade, which we're wanting for Axel, so that Axel can use Explosion twice. This is actually a fairly new routing of X7 here. This is something that Tsukimos and I found and routed out a bit ago, a little while ago. So basically, we're staying in the spider armor in order to actually change what armor spawns in the second half of the stage. So that was really good. We want to destroy all those pretty quick. And now that we have the spider armor here, the right armor here, there's going to be a different right armor that spawns into the other section, which will be this blue right armor. This right armor in the blue section is really useful to defeating Gungaru really quickly. Like, really stupidly quickly. But for now, we're going to use this one. We're going to use this Ride Armor to try to destroy all these targets. The best attack to do is the spinning dash attack, which does a little drill. And we're needing to predict where the robots are going to be before they actually are there in order to do this best. Now there are 5 left. I'm wanting to make sure I don't kill all of them with this. I'm gonna... go over here. I'm gonna jump into this. And I'm going to do a special dash attack. This attack is broken, as you can say. It basically does a shield move that then goes up. And there's a lot of good movement you can do there, essentially, to just... if you just manage to dash in front of enemies like that, what you're able to do then is you're able to, like, preserve... Not only are you invincible for the duration of the dash, you're also able to get massive damage on certain enemies, although the drill is generally better because you're not, you know, bulldozing ahead. There's also 2 different types of attack I should mention in X7, much like in other X games like X6 and X5. There's a normal attack, and then there's a special attack. I'm referring specifically to pressing Y, the special attack button here. But you can see right here, this makes quick work of the mech for him, and also makes quick work of the boss if we can do this right. I'm just using the D-pad and going back and forth. Being careful not to actually stop, because if I stop, I'm going to do a different move, and that's actually going to ruin me. Very nice. Very, very nice. So the important thing is the regular special attack launches these missiles, and that's going to, like, completely stop you and slow you down a lot. So it's a good thing we didn't actually have to do that, and we stayed in the mech. But that is a huge, huge time save compared to what we did before, which was actually just playing it as Axel regularly, which sucked. So yeah, that's a really big find. Shout out to Tsukimos, and I guess myself for that. It's really nice. 337. So, I should explain a little bit about IGT. The IGT in this game is not reliable, but for, like, between platforms, but for your own platform, it's pretty reliable. That is a personal best for me, an IGT. My best before was 338. 337 is dummy good. Like, really good. Anyhow, what I was mentioning earlier, there are these, the rescue list here shows what, Reploids we've rescued. These are CDs, and they give you chips, which are like parts from the previous games, except they are unlocked in like a sort of spiral up fashion. So you can select 1 of 3 attributes and have it upgrade up to 4 times. We're going to do a 7-chip route here. I'm going to get Axel to speed 3 as early as possible. And then I'm going to get Zero's entire special thing fit. Make sure to hit yes there. If you don't hit yes there, you risk having to do all that over again. Yeah, this is a really good run so far, from what I can tell from my average pace. Next up is Borsky, who is interesting. This stage is a pain to do sometimes, but the reason why we do it now instead of later, it is the only stage that doesn't really have a stage aspect to it, so we don't require Axel to have the third weapon, the third speed chip, which is Hyper Dash. We don't want that. We don't need that here, so we can just do this stage normally. So, yeah, we're going to use the Ride Chaser here, and we need to pick up 20 bombs, and we defuse them by driving into them. It makes sense. I've switched to Axel here because Axel's the character we're going to use first in most of the stages from now on. And I just want to make sure that, like, it's staying as Axel, so that saves time on having to do swaps. Shouldn't have done it like that, but that's okay. I'm actually going to do a 2-cycle route, where I go back to the start of the stage and then re-get something, so I can get something for 100% here. I'm going to get this one. That one's a bit pesky to get sometimes. It's really slippery, these controls. Then I'm just going to headbutt left, and then get Sam over here, and then just lean into this bomb. Yeah, good. Gonna get these bombs. Gonna slow down a little bit so Tanaka can respawn. Tanaka has one of the chips, so we don't want to lose that. And then we want to get these bombs. There's one more bomb left. Cool. I'm playing it a little bit safer than I normally do, just to make sure I get it. I'm also getting this one here. That is a weapon upgrade. It's not a chip. The chip is coming up right here. But first, before I get the chip one, I'm going to get this weapon tank. Then I'm going to get the chip, and then I'm going to get the final bomb. Nice. So yeah, that can be a little bit pesky to do, especially in marathons. If you mess up one bomb late in the route, you're going to have to go all the way back through to try to get that one bomb. Also, we're still playing in Japanese, but there's no doubt that the Japanese voice acting is still as interesting as the English one. This one specifically. Bushi! I love it. I love this. So now we're going to use Explosion, the weapon we got from Gungaroo. We're going to use the special weapon once. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Gonna get hit. Okay, we got punked. Oh, not good. Not good, okay. That was unlucky. Oh no. Oh, please don't. Okay, thank you. Oh, I was worried I would die there. So we actually want to get slightly hit as Axel. This is a really important point to mention because we don't want to get rank ups. Rank ups basically takes 5 seconds and then can lose 5 seconds later in the run. But yeah, Borsky as a boss is essentially random. And I didn't really handle it too well because I was worried more so about my health and other things, but that's fine. Yeah, acceptable Borsky right there. Again, IGT is a good mechanic of how you're doing in the stage itself, but we can't rely on it fully. Because, for instance, if you pause in this game, IGT collects. If you are on the menu screen to select a stage, it doesn't collect. But the other Reploids we got here, you can see there's that purple, or that bluish capsule thing. That's a weapon upgrade, which improves the weapon tank for whatever, or like the amount of weapon that either Axel or Zero has. And we want to make sure that Axel gets like a lot of weapon upgrades so that we can use Explosion a lot of times. And with that, we're done Borsky. After Borsky comes, in my routing, Tunyon, which is an interesting boss. In the English version of this game, the fun fact is, Tunyon and Zero share a voice actor, which are completely different ends of the spectrum in terms of enthusiasm. But yeah, we now have Hyperdash as Axel, which is the part you get from upgrading 3 chips worth on speed, and this allows us to just dash faster. So essentially in this route, Axel is the fast character and Zero is the tank. So the reason why we want that here is so that Axel can quickly get the 1 Reploid we need in this area, without the mini-boss here destroying them. Oh, there we go. That one doesn't matter, but anytime that a Reploid gets killed, or you pick them up, it actually will lose time, because it'll appear on the rescue list. So in the later stages, we're not going to get no Reploids, either dying or rescued, so that we can avoid having to load that bit of text. There we go, and this is the biggest point of RNG in the run. This boss right here. This mini-boss can suck. I should also mention in the English... So the reason why we're playing on Japanese... the US English release of this game actually has has worse damage tables, weaker, than the Japanese and European versions. So the Japanese version is the easiest to actually roll around with here, for instance. Ah, dang it. So yeah, we got bad RNG there. I almost killed it, I think. But basically it goes around like this, and we have to just wait it out. But as I was mentioning, the US English release has a weaker weapons in general, including your base shot. As both Axel, Zero, and X, your base shot is reduced to half of what it is elsewhere. And bad RNG again. Yeah, this boss can be quite annoying at times, I'd find, and it can be very frustrating to deal with. So hopefully we don't get 3-cycled. I'm just going to start shooting and hopefully it won't go back in. Okay, cool. So yeah, everything in the US release is reduced to about half. Your base weapon's reduced to half, and a lot of charged weapons are also reduced a significant amount. So generally speaking, if you're going to play the game in English, play the UK English release. All these versions are able to select in the X Legacy Collection, by the way. You can just cycle between them, which is really nice. So I'm playing in Japanese because it's still faster than English, but if I wanted to, I could play in English. I just didn't. I've done that for all the previous marathons I've done of this game, and I wanted to play in Japanese for once. So yeah, we can use Axel or not Axel, we can use Zero's double jumps here to skip having to actually do this segment normally. We want to get one of those Reploids. I got 3, but that's fine. I want to get Keiko there, who had the CD parts. Now we get to Tunyon here. Yeah, I actually think of it as the exact opposite of Mega Man 2. Someone told me that the reason why this was is because of US game rental policies in 2003, which I guess makes sense, but doesn't make sense at the same time. But yeah, the UK and all the European releases and the Japanese release have higher damage tables, and so it's easier to fight stuff on there. Now you're noticing as Axel here, I'm going to be rolling. I'm rolling because rolling as Axel homes in on whatever target you're shooting at, and also gives you invincibility. So it's like the best way to deal with Tunion's first phase. And then when we get here, we're going to use Explosion twice. I'm going to turn around and use Explosion the wrong way. Not great. That's okay. Cool. That's fine. Not the best thing, because I turned around and used Explosion the other way, but now you can see that we actually have 2 explosions to use, which is the special weapon for that is known as Explosion. But the actual weapon itself is called Grenade Launcher, and that is the actual gun itself. So sorry for getting a little bit here and there with commentary, but unlike X or Zero, Axel doesn't just get, like, special weapons from bosses, he also gets special guns. And that gun specifically is Grenade Launcher here. So Grenade Launcher is actually about as powerful as X's second charge shot, which makes it useful to just home in on enemies like bosses like that. Lisa and I'm sorry. You didn't make it. So that's why we can swap between weapons. So even if you're not using, like, the special weapon as Axel, it's sometimes useful to swap anyways so that you can get the special gun instead. And that becomes your new base weapon. So, Grenade Launcher is really useful. It's not really useful if you have to, like, rapid fire on things, because the disadvantages of Grenade Launcher are the fact that, like, it's really sluggish. Like, really sluggish. So, and you also can't move in the air if you're shooting. You'll fall, or you'll, like, be stuck in the direction you jump in. So I could, like, shoot and jump, but I would be, like, stuck in that orientation no matter where I'm going. That makes it a little bit harder to actually deal with these sorts of things. Anyhow, we're now on Soldier Stone Kong, and Soldier Stone Kong is one of the hardest stages in the run. So, whoa, I didn't get hit? Oh, epic. So Axel, when he also rolls, it means that he also gets invincibility frames, which is pretty useful. I'm going to switch over to Tunion's weapon, which is Tornado, I forget what it's called, but the Tornado is super useful to get multiple hits on things, like, vertically above you. Or vertically near you. So, like, that allows you to, like, instant kill those rocks that would actually cause you to, like, lose damage or otherwise. So once I'm here, I'm going to swap over to Zero because I don't want to wait for rocks. And I just want to get up here. Then I'm going to swap back to Axel. And then I'm just going to try to take as little damage as possible through this. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Because I basically want to complete this section without ever having to go back to Zero again, which is, again, easier said than done. So if there are any donations or things to read at this time, that might be good.
Okay, well, there is, in fact, a $1 donation from Tempest Master 1000, who says, shout out to the last guy with his $1, whoever that was. Nah, but let's go Focus. I bless this run with $1 and hope we'll get fun times like ESA's run. Sure, I can't use my money to make you do English voices this time, but I'll do one better. Let's see if Red makes some Jill sandwiches today.
I'm switching over to Zero to be safe here, because I did not trust that, and it was a good thing I didn't, because that would have killed me. There are checkpoints in this game. There are checkpoints in this game, but they aren't very generous at times. I mean, they are really generous in general. Nice. Also, this mini-boss has just used Tornado twice. It's super easy, even in a new game. But, in general, you want to limit the amount of swaps you do, so I only do swaps at that point if I'm, like, I'm, like, really close to dying. But, what is I was trying to say? I can't remember at this point. But essentially, like, movement in the new game run is essentially trying to avoid damage as much as possible, or taking damage on the least amount of things. Like, different enemies obviously give different damage amounts, and since Oh, thanks. Oh, still good. Okay, so basically Stone Kong here. Stone Kong here, basically, can do some different damage patterns. That's actually not the pattern we want. So what happened there is, Tornado's weapon or technique for Zero essentially can do multiple hits if the tornado is right underneath the thing you're slashing against. It's a dash and then special attack. So that's actually really useful if you're, for instance, have the invincibility frames that Zero does, which we now have triple invincibility. I should have mentioned that. The last part we got as Zero gave us triple invincibility frames, which is definitely something. And this is also the last, hopefully the last set of Reploids we'll see on a rescue list, because this is all the parts we need, or chips we need. So yeah, now that we're here with Master Saber, which is useful for the refights mainly, we can now basically go through the last 4 Mavericks of this game a lot more, I guess, I mean, it's both more chaotic and less chaotic simultaneously. Because there are certain points where you really can't easily route out certain bosses, or certain Reploids, but there are some stages, like, for instance, Snipe Arikwiku, or Snipe Anteater stage, which is super, super easy in order to, like, actually... what's the word? It's super easy in this stage to just avoid any Reploids, because they're not even on the main path. So yeah, this is a very fun stage. I actually really love Snipe Anteater stage. It's just a lot of dashing and jumping. There's actually, like, one instance of a pretty decent glitch here as well. So, Axel has an ability, Axel can hover, as part of one of his abilities, so just holding A will allow him to hover. We can then hover on these things which swap the gravity around, or swap to the other side, and that means we can just stay there, like, really easily, and we'll always get the best cycle. This is really important here, because they actually left in an earlier cycle, right here, for some reason, and that means we can actually finish this section without actually having to having the stage load in. And so if I can do it right, there you go, stage didn't load in, I'm already gone. So it's like the one major instance of a glitch in this game, I'd say. This game is actually really straightforward compared to most games I've played. Like, if you contrast this to, like, 06, like the other major speed game I play, 06 is really buggy and glitchy, and that's what basically makes the run. This game is all about just routing and movement, which is really interesting. This is one of the longer pieces of dialogue, no matter what the language, so if there's anything you want to talk about, Realm, feel free to.
Okay, let's have a look here. We haven't had any new donations yet, but I should remind you that the Spark the Electric Jester incentive is closing in about 3.5 hours. That is for a showcase of the Litoria Bay stage. We need $35 for that. We're currently at $1, so if that's something you want to see after the Mega Man block, then make sure to get your donations in for that.
Okay, Anteater gave me decent RNG, but not, like, amazing RNG, to be honest. Anteater is always one of the bosses where I'm like, I just sort of grit my teeth and hope for the best. The best strategy to use on this one is effectively to just use Zero's Tunyon technique. I forget the name of it. It's in Japanese, in both the English release as well. I think it's called, like, Rising Tornado, if you translate the Japanese. Yeah, Rising Tornado effectively is super, super useful to get multiple hits, but it only gets multiple hits on specifically, like, Anteater here, if Anteater moves to the right ever so slightly. If he moves too far to the right, though, you're going to have him circle back around the back, and you can't attack him at all, which is going to make it really frustrating. Next one we have on our list is Falco. It's Falco. Everyone's favorite melee main. Windcrow Ring. It's basically Falco. This is a stage where Hyperdash really comes in handy because of all the cycles that are present in this stage. So there are a few places here where we're going to need to try to jump over some planes really quickly. Hyperdash makes it easier, so I'm trying my best not to get too much damage here and just go through. Nice. These red planes don't move while you're on them because they just don't function really well at all. in any percent New Game Plus, you're able to skip some cycles here and actually get to the top of that before you can, you know, with 0. Since in any percent New Game Plus, you basically start from a fully 100% file, and you basically use X and 0 instead of Axel and 0. Unfortunate, I couldn't get up to the top of the red one before here, but that's still okay. So long as you don't die in that section, that's best, because if you die, you have to do the intro animation yet again, and then do the next thing again, and the next thing. There's a lot of repetition in that case. Also, shoutouts to Piner's internet. I hope Comcast blesses you in the near future. Because so far, for me, it's not dropping anything, so that's unfortunate. So we also can use Tornado Tunyon's weapon here really effectively. There's a lot of ammo, and it's really easy. Yo, I also got good luck there. The good luck there is getting that Birdman to stand right on top of you. And so yeah, we can use Tornado Tunyon's weapon there. I forget the name in English, sorry. To actually do that. But Tornado Tunyon's, like, this is what I'm saying when, like, the guns matter just as much as the special weapons themselves. Tornado Tunyon's gun is bad, which is why I'm actually going to swap back to the regular one. There's going to be a slight skip here, I hope. I'm going to try for it. Going to shoot here so it doesn't... Yo, nice. So, what did I do there? Like, what did I do? What was any of that, you might ask? So if Axel, or any character, dash jumps into a wall and then lets go of the wall, they can then air dash again, and that actually lets you air dash with a normal falling speed. If you air dash in the air, just plain air dash, you're gonna fall like a rock immediately after. But if you hug onto a wall and then, like, fall off of it, not jump off, fall off, you're gonna be able to do an air dash again, and that air dash will actually have the normal falling speed, so it'll actually go like duh, duh, which can let you get over that, little gap there. Pretty neat. So, another thing that's really important, again, rolling here to make sure that you get invincible, and you're able to shoot the weapon. Bad luck. Just gonna use Grenade Launcher for the rest, and try to save my next explosion for when he comes down again. Bad luck again. Okay, that's fine. Well, the funniest thing is I'm also running on Comcast. So Comcast has good RNG for some people, bad RNG for others. Let's take it as that. But yeah, that was a pretty good crowing. I really like that little bit of tech there in the movement. So that skips like another platforming section. Pretty cool. And that is, yeah, that's a very good, anything near 3 minutes is really good for crowing. Although it could have been slightly better if the boss was nicer. Alright, we're getting on to the final 2 Mavericks in this routing. Which are... We first do Splash Warfly, because Splash Warfly just is a mini-boss of the stage. There are so many mini-bosses in this stage, like, you can fit a whole heck of mini-bosses into this war zone, let me tell you that. There's just so much. Like, there are... I'm trying to count them now. 1, 2, 3... I think there are 3 total, but there's also the final boss, and there's a section between. It's a lot of mini-bosses. The first mini-boss is obviously the best. If none of you have seen this mini-boss, oh, get yourselves ready. This is the best, like, plan I've ever seen from any sort of army in any form or shape. Just look at this. So, we got a futuristic high-tech boy from who can copy people. And then, you know what they got to fight against that? We got a plane that has no wings on a platform, and it spins. And it shoots randomly. Yeah, that's a mini bus. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. We're gonna stay with Tornado Tunyon's weapon here so we can get multiple hits on the next bit, but let me see if I can get this little skip here. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna get this weapon. I'm gonna get this sub-tank here. This stores our health. I'm then gonna just shoot this weapon, this enemy, to kill it. And finish them off like that. And then once we're through here, we're gonna have another boss. I'm actually gonna switch to a different weapon, which is actually gonna have a lot more use later on in this run. At least for me, the way I do this, I attack a little bit differently. So we're gonna have switch to this one, which is a Snipe Missile, which we got from Snipe Anteater. Being very careful to not to hit any of the enemies or the fire. Yeah, you don't even know if 100% runners. Oh, it's gonna be hard to know if you actually collected everything. So I'm gonna use the this weapon specifically because the reason why I use this weapon specifically and not like Tornado Tunyon's weapon is so that I can still shoot normally. Also, I can use the wind missiles to shoot the enemies earlier up there, the head. If the head is shot early, then basically the boss, that phase will end earlier. You can use Tunyon's weapon to basically perfectly aim a tornado at like the little cannons in the back, but that's really difficult for me, and I find using Snipe Anteater's weapon a bit easier. Okay, and then we're gonna go through here, just try to avoid damage or collecting any Reploids. That's essentially the bit here. You're gonna need to take damage at some points, though. Ah, no! No! I got a Reploid. Oh, no. Now we have to... The unfortunate thing is with these, this adds, like, 7 seconds by just collecting one. Oh, it's my favorite one. This is my favorite Maverick in this game. Just from the design point, it's a lovely Maverick. Later is the English voice, and I just love him. We love... Oh, man. Splash Warfly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to Tornado Tunyon's weapon, which is its weakness. And then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to use Explosion twice. And then once I'm here as 0, I'm going to actually stand in this specific spot. The Splash Warfly will come up basically wherever... Whoa, come on. Splash Warfly will basically stand, like, right where you are. And so if we stand here, Splash Warfly can never, like, go back into the water. Very similar to the boss we saw in X2. And then we can just use its weakness on it there and be fine. Pretty decent. Unfortunate that I didn't... I got some good explosions, but I also messed up the position afterward. It's a nice little, like, RNG manip for that boss. I think there's a pattern in all these in the X games we've seen so far where there's a pattern of let enemies stand there and just wail at them, which I didn't even realize until right now. That is a very good, very solid Splash Warfly right there. Yeah, next we have the most infamous boss in the game, but yeah, you can see we rescued. Who do we rescue? Frank. Frank, come on. Frank. Yeah, now here's the last Maverick, which is, Flame Hyanard. Even in Japanese, there's still a voice line here that repeats constantly. And so, yeah, Flame Hyanard I do last because in this stage there's probably the most damage boosting, I think, which makes it hard to do earlier, but you could technically do the last 4 in any order. We have to do the first 4 in the order there. You could technically do an 8-ship route as well if you do if you want to do what's it? If you want to do like Anteater before if you want to do Anteater before Stone Kong, that's fine. That's what I actually used to do. But I don't do that anymore because it's slower. But it's still pretty safe as a run. I'm also jumping on the ground sometimes to avoid these enemies. And also I'm going to try to do a really sick roll over here to try to get underneath this enemy. Yo, nice. Okay, Axel has a lot of good health. We're going to swap to Zero here because Zero has triple invincibility, and that makes this section easier for me. So even though Zero doesn't have Hyper Dash, we are still overall saving more time because I don't have to route for different, like, weapon energies. I want to make sure I have invincibility frames for these enemies. Not these ones. I actually want to get hit again because I don't want Jim. We don't like Jim here. Okay, cool. Yeah, we hate Jim. All my homies hate Jim. I'm a bit low for Zero's health, but I should be fine, I hope. And now we're on this section. I was playing it a bit safe there. I did not... I played it a bit safe by taking more damage. But now we have Axel's only instance of copy shot in this game. So we're going to shoot this enemy twice, and then on the third shot we're going to shoot it with the special weapon. This allows us to transform into the enemy we use. And so right here, we can go over to this and skip this entire difficult section. I'm then going to do air dashes as the fastest form of movement for this enemy. Or I'm not. And then I'm going to switch over here. This is low health. I am nervous. Oh, so the beginning of Ironheart has us shooting his legs. Not the enemy's leg, but like the little thing he's on. Those legs. We want to attack them. We don't want those to exist. Legs are not real. And so I'm going to actually use Splash Warfly's weapon on it, because the water does several hits all at once. And so if I can swap to water really quick, I think that's this way. Right here, I'm going to use it on this leg. Ah, that is nerve-wracking. I also might still die, so I'm just going to concentrate. We use Tornado several times. 2, 3... I think I'm going to get 4 hits in before he starts moving again. 6. Okay, nice. Actually, a decent Ironheart fight. So basically, the whole point of the Ironheart fight is essentially get legs down, and then just tornado him to town. Pretty easy fight, to be honest, but it can be risky if you have little health, like I did there. Because the little clones in the bottom always shoot missiles or other things, and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, so far this has been a really good run, though. I don't know if it's PB pace, but it's somewhere near there. Which is surprising. I PB'd last night in this category. But yeah, that is all 8 Mavericks done. And so, now we get Palace Road. If you ever think a Mega Man game could be improved, guys, did you know it can be improved by a 4-minute 3D auto-scroller? So, this is the perfect time to read donations, but before then, I just want to say, hello, X. Nice to hear you, X. Alia is greeting, X. You can select X now. If you want to go out with X, buy X. X is underpowered because we haven't given him any parts or anything useful. So, like, X, we're just like, okay, cool. Yeah, you know, X is just there. But yeah, so this is Palace Road, and this is effectively just an auto-scroller. It has sick music, though, so, yeah, Realm, if you want to say anything during this time, feel free to.
Okay, well, we haven't had any new donations come in since last time, but now seems like as good a time as any to remind you that we've got some bid wars going on, including the monkey that will be used for the Super Monkey Ball block. Currently leading is Gon Gon with $20, and second place is Mimi with $10. Baby is third with 5, and then II is yet to get off the mark. He's currently in last place with $0. I just want to say, from a personal perspective, the fact that Mimi isn't winning is an absolute travesty, and I'm disappointed in every single viewer of this match.
I actually agree with that, surprisingly. I actually agree with that.
So if we can get that to be brought out in front before the Super Monkey Ball block starts in a few days' time, that would be grand. And yeah, otherwise, just keep donating. Like I said before, we got the Spark the Electric Jester incentive coming up after Mighty Gunvolt, which is in a few hours' time. That will be for the showcase of the Lycoria Bay stage. So if that's something you want to see, we're still $34 away from getting that incentive.
I'm a dumb. I just decided to roll accidentally, which is just double tapping dash, and I decided to just hurt myself. Nice. Cool. There is a health at the end of this, so it should be fine as long as I don't take too much damage. But that's still dumb of me. So we're going to be really careful here. Axel can still hover, as I mentioned. And there's some points you want to hover here so you don't, like, have to take it too risky. That was not one of those points, but I should have hovered anyway. There is a point here I'm going to hover, just starting now. And then just land over here. Simple as that. It's the one after the next one that I'm worried about. Like, do I have any health? Barely. Oh my god, I might have to actually switch to 0 in this. This is normal. Wow, I'm taking way too much damage. Oh my god. Oh, why? Why did I do this? That's a minute of time loss, guys. Sorry. Oh, wow. That sucks. I didn't even miss the jump that I usually get. I just accidentally dashed. That's fine. We have a minute extra, so, how's everyone doing? I can read the chat. That was PB pace until then, but that's okay. I'm not gonna learn my lesson. I know I'm not, because I'm dumb. And that's cool. I was trying to roll so I could aim at the enemies, but there is an extra minute for donations, so do get donations in, please. If you want me to read something and be embarrassed. You know, that'd be good. I'm very frustrated that I actually did that. Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, sorry. I was just gonna pull over if we don't have any donations. So he wasn't.
Nice. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this better this third time. I'm trying to stay up here so I can hover really easily to the final part of this goal. Gonna go around this little thing, and then I'm gonna go over here, try to shoot all the enemies as I come up.
We have a $4 donation from Deathline who says, "Let's go Litoria Bay. Also, gotta have that rainbow ball for Yoku's Island Express on Monday." Indeed, we do have an incentive currently open for Yoku's Island Express, which is for the ball color. The choices are Ladybug, Gold, Rainbow Skull, or Red. So get your donations in if you have a particular preference.
Yeah, do make sure. There's a lot of good donation incentives coming up. A lot of good bid wars. I do love the fact that you guys chose a bid war for the entire Monkey Ball series, for instance. That is insane to see. But yeah, this is the autoscroller of the stage. I think I only lost like 40 minutes the way I did it, but still, sucks to lose time. 40 seconds. What am I saying? 40 minutes? Oh no. Let's go. Let's go half the run. Yeah, we're almost near the end, and I'm going to make sure I don't die here as well. So I'm going to go over here. There's a 1-up here, and also a health upgrade, or like a full health restore. This actually restores not only my current health, but also refills the E-tank completely. I'm now going to switch to Explosion. I'm going to stand in the middle here. I'm going to wait for him to twirl around. He like twirls around a bit. I'm going to wait for that. Then I'm going to go up. There we go. Yeah, still a very good run overall. It's not an X7 death without a death of the autoscroller. It's not an X7 marathon run for me without a death of the autoscroller. This happened at ESA as well. So it's not surprising to me, but it's unfortunate. But yeah, now we have possibly like one of the longest end game stages in the entire run. The game FPS is actually at 60. It's just an issue with internet connection. Like on my stream, on the stream I'm streaming this to, on an alt I'm streaming to, like this is gonna look absolutely crisp and clean. So I think if you guys want for the VOD, I'm more than happy to just rip that out, and we could like put it over. Very efficient modding. But yeah, there's some really cool movement here that we can do. Because of triple invincibility, I'm able to just like jump through these rocks by getting hit off these really small enemies. And then I'm able to just go back and then slash jump. I did not mention slash jumping, actually. This is really important. Slash jumping also gives you an additional bit of height as 0, which allows you to actually skip certain segments. So dash jumping is really cool if you can pull it off properly. I'm also going to dash jump into there. Nice. That actually skips a little bit into there. And then we have red. So yeah, slash jumping as 0 gives you an additional bit of height. So instead of just double jumping, if you slash jump, you get additional bit of height. And that means that it's faster to slash jump because you have your dash speed maintained for a little bit when doing normal things. But also it's useful to get actually up there in height. And now we have red. Red. Red is RNG the boss. So red in the first half of his health will actually just stay on like this 3x3 area. He'll also warp to a certain spot and then bring out those tornadoes. So I'm looking for where red will spawn within this 3x3 grid. Okay, back there. And then I'm just using a Tornado Tanyan's technique on him. You're aiming for about 2 hits per cycle. If you can get 2 hits per cycle, that's decent. If you get less than that, you might need to use the health upgrade. Okay. Okay, 3 hits, nice. Except I'm not nice because I got hit. I'm actually gonna use the weapon tank, the E-tank now. Nice. Life tank. Now he's going to... now he's gonna troll us. He's gonna stand all the way over there. Not doing that, dude. Not doing that, buddy. Thank you, though. Is it where I think it is? Yep. Okay, that's unfortunate luck. But there's nothing I can really do to control that. So now he can be on any of the platforms, including the very starting one. Oh, where is he? Oh, there. There you go. And that's Red Dead. Not bad. Not great either, though. And now we're going to get over to here. This is the section right before the boss rush. I'm going to switch to Axel as soon as I get into the stage here, but I'm actually going to use Zero's Saber Dash again to sort of go into the... very slightly go into the automated cutscene, as we mentioned earlier. And now that we're here, we're going to switch to Axel. And when Axel is here, we're going to switch over to, what's it called? Snipe and Eater's weapon, which is a Snipe Missile. Because Snipe Missile is just goated as a weapon. If the enemies turn here, it's going to do multiple hits. And they usually do turn if you set them up like this, which means you can really quickly eliminate them. It's a homing missile, so it homes in on them. And then it just goes over. It's really beautiful. And there's like 6 ways to do this as well, in case you're not confident with this. I kind of messed up there a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's really nice and easy to do. And you can just roll and still shoot your main weapon while you shoot the excess weapon, like the bonus weapon. And it means you can kill them really quick. I was doing really well there until I forgot how to shoot. Yeah, now we're going to go on to here, which is going to be... This section is all about, like, damage boosting, but only properly. So with damage boosting here, you're going to want to make sure that you jump over certain enemies, like this one. Never mind. I'm just going to roll through them. You're trying to avoid as much damage as you can, because there are certain things here that you need to damage boost off of, and if you get your timing wrong, you're actually going to waste a lot of time, so hopefully I got this right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, why? Dang. Oh, that sucks. I was trying to switch, but I couldn't switch in midair. Oh, well. Let's try that again. So that's the jump I want. That's the jump I want. I can just go through these two now. Oh, man, that was almost close. But let's try it again. You can just, you know, air dash on the ground through here. It's really cool. Or you can't, I guess. Wow, this game is giving me all the bad now. Oh, I've never heard this refrain in the song. Neat. Okay, I might be careful here and actually try to do this properly, but, I mean, this is the usual strat. You're gonna see how nice this game is, though, if I actually get a game over. I don't think we're gonna get a game over, though. Okay, and then I'm gonna hover here, so I can go over here and just jump, and there we go. That was rough, but that's okay. We're still well under estimate. This is looking like a 104 now, I think. Overall, though, this run was pretty good. So now we're in the boss fights, and so the boss fights have slightly different strategies to the normal fights. Because we got the weapon tank earlier, if you recall. We got the weapon tank as Axel, which gave us access to 2 more explosions. Oh wait, I'm not getting... I was like, why isn't that working? Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to not punk anymore, and then I'm gonna shoot again. Nice. So that's what the power of 4 explosions does. 4 explosions is super useful, even though there's that bit of menuing, because it just kills enemies really quickly. And so having that amount of explosion is always really nice. We're now going to switch over. I'm going to get the weapon energy refill, but I'm actually not going to get any other... I'm not going to get the health refill. We're going to go over here and fight Kroang, because Kroang you don't really need the extra health for. So once I double tap and roll again, same pattern as before. Wait until he gets over here. 3, 4, 1, 2, and then refill again. Now he's in the background again. And we actually killed him in the background. Neat. I don't usually do that. So yeah, that's why we don't want him flying off there, for that reason alone. It will swap between the... right in front of you and behind the scenes. Yeah, so far, this is still really good for my average with X7 runs. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. We're going to get the health and weapon here. And I'm going to... yeah, health and weapon. I can't speak. We're going to get the health and weapon here because we're going to do the same pattern we did with a Splash Warfly in the thing before here. Cool. Thank you. I'm going to switch over back to Explosion. Ah, what the hell. Sometimes you can just have him be bad. I'm going to swap over to 0 now, so I can just wail on him. So the one reason we want to get 0 to full special instead of just to 3 special is because of a thing that we have called Master Saber. Master Saber improves weaknesses for on bosses and other things. So if a boss is weak to a weapon like that, that is not how I wanted it. I was one hit off. One hit off there. That is unfortunate, but Master Saber gives you extra effectiveness for special weapons against bosses who are weak to them, so that's really useful for that, for instance. I'm gonna go ahead, and then I'm actually gonna do this slightly out of order, because I'm a bit nervous. We're gonna do Tunyon's fight. Tunyon's fight, usually, if you use the weakness, is actually much easier than it is here, for instance. But I'm gonna do the strat that's faster, and so we're gonna use Tunyon's weapon against him, if I can do this properly. So basically, Tunyon can do this thrice. And if we actually did it properly, we'd actually be able to kill Tunyon on that hit, which is pretty neat. Okay. You can actually get Tunyon to be killed, like, right at the point that you're in that tornado, and so you can have 0 constantly flashing on the finishing screen here, and have him thrown out of a tornado without any damage. Which is kind of funny. I'm going to be safe here and get the health upgrade because I have no lives. Although the fun fact is, even if I died here, all I'd have to do is hit retry, and then it would take me back to the beginning of this with all the bosses I've defeated. So frankly, this is super, super marathon safe, this game. This is the pattern I wanted for Stone Kong. This is the pattern you usually expect. Oh boy. Oh, come on! Oh, thank you. So the issue is sometimes, if you just press Y as 0, it will do this... It will do the most useless weapon in the game, which is that one. And it doesn't allow you to do any other special attack until that is despawned. So if you do that, be careful, because it can really screw you up. Gonna just get the weapon for no reason. Gonna go over and do Anteater now. So now we've defeated more than half. That was really tight. That got my nerves pumping. My nerves pumping. My heart pumping. If my nerves are pumping, that's a genuine worry. So now we have Anteater. Hopefully being kinder than he was in yesterday's run for me. So that's what I mean by multiple hits, right there. You can get multiple hits if he turns to the right. See? And unfortunately, if he's standing back here, he might take a while to get back. But nope, actually that's a really good fight. Yeah, awesome, actually. Really nice. That's what you want Anteater to look like. That is the Anteater you see in your dreams. And once we're on here, we're going to go ahead and fight. Oh, should I do now? I'm going to go ahead and actually get Axel some health. And I'm going to go over here to my least favorite refight. So the difficulty is with this refight. This refight. Oh boy, this refight. I don't know why I paused now. I'm gonna just try to get several hits. I'm gonna get my energy up now. So there's an RNG pattern if I can get it here. I technically got it, but it's not strong enough. So basically, if you stand in the right spot and then, like, he goes to the right spot, you can get, like, several hits by just standing. In much the same way we got it with, in a very similar manner to which we did it with, Splash Warfly, but it's really difficult for me to get. I don't know why. It's just not predictable. Come on, jump near me. This is the older strat where you just sort of do Tornado Tunyon's weapon and hope for the best. Just one more slash should be it. Nice. Okay, well that's decent. We got one more boss left, which is a Hyanard. And with Hyanard, we start off as Axel and use the same thing we did before, and then do it as the same as Zero as before. So Hyanard's the last fight in the refights, and then we got Sigma, and then we're done. Okay, I'm gonna swap over, get the health, get the thing, just to be completely safe. You can't be too safe, honestly, in the later bits. Gonna go over here, and then use water. Use a water cannon again. There we go. And now once we're up here, we're gonna wail on him the same way we did before. So current world record holder for this game uses keyboard, which is actually useful for instances like this. I still use my I use a Switch Pro controller because it has a nice D-pad. It has a nice general feel. There we go. Last hit on him. Nice. So imagine playing a game on keyboard. That's what Tsukimos does, and he's amazing at it. A 3D game in the keyboard. Oh, it's hard to believe. I don't have the willpower to do that. It's not any faster. It's just depending on how you prefer. Okay, so now we are on to the last parts of the game. This is Sigma, who is the secret villain all along, because basically Red is the leader of Red Alert, and then they're just like, you have a professor with you. Who's the professor? And it's Sigma. And so you had to defeat Sigma. And so yeah, also I like how we get to see we get to cut him off with this text. Nanto demo, yurinyaru. We get to cut him off before he even says let's go. Okay, so Sigma Phase 1 is essentially just use Tornado Tunyon's weapon on him several times, hope for good RNG. Just quickly shift back and forth, like hold back on the key on your D-pad just before you start to do it again. Ah, come on, you were so close. Cool. That's a bit unfortunate that we have that happen sometimes, but essentially it's just all dependent upon what pattern Sigma does for the first phase, and then we got the second phase. The second phase also just uses Axel all the time. Time is coming up pretty soon. Once we're done the boss here, once the final boss, this boss is at all its health drained, we are good to, time is there. I can't speak words because I almost died. Okay, so you first want to start here. Unfortunate pattern to begin with the green orbs, because the green orbs still hit me. Oh, he green orbs again. That sucks. Fourth one will be up here. This is a safe spot. I'm trying to stand at the safe spot and shoot. Okay, he's gonna punch me, maybe? So if he's standing far apart, he could punch me. And so if we stand here, he'll punch actually towards the left. Although he didn't do anything, he just wasted my time. Good to see. Thank you, Sigma. And then we're gonna have purple laser again. Thank you. This is like the worst patterns I could have gotten. Thanks, Sigma. Everyone say thanks, Sigma, in chat. Am I gonna get punched again? Oh my god. This boss just does not like me today. Is he gonna get ready to punch again? What is he doing? Oh boy. This is all RNG, so it's all dependent upon what Sigma wants to do. Oh, come on. Am I just too far? Oh my god, that was my fault. That was my fault. And time. There we go. Whew, that was a rough run near the end, but overall, really solid run of X7. Really solid run. 104 I'm happy with.
Yeah, man, that was fantastic. That was an awesome watch from an outside perspective. I really enjoyed that run.
Yeah, it's X7's a really unique run because it's the only 3D Mega Man X game really. So you get to see a few unique things in it, and I honestly love the really difficult like platforming to maintain certain things. It can be really hard. Oh, by the way, I like to cut off the cutscene here at just the right point. Oh wait, I missed it. Oh wait, I already missed it. I already didn't notice that I already punched Axel out of the ground. Shoot. You always want to skip. I was too busy thinking. Oh no, I shouldn't do that. I was too busy thinking that I missed Axel being punched out of the thing, and so that's when we end cutscene usually. But yeah, that's Mega Man X7. As the previous runners have all mentioned, yeah, join the Mega Man X speedrunning Discord. We have a lot of good resources and support. If you want more X7 or just Mega Man in general, you can feel free to follow me on twitch.tv/FocusSight. Thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you, Realm, for being a host. I'm now going to take your spot. I'm now going to usurp you. I'm sorry.
Totally fine. Yeah, in a weird twist of events, it's actually the host signing off after the run, not the runner.
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know how I got swindled into this deal, but yeah, enjoyable run. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the Sonic block, so I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, you'll also see me there, funnily enough.
Indeed.
But yeah,